Good morning and welcome to the Nasdaq Market Site. I'm Nasdaq CEO Adena Friedman, and today we are live here in Times Square getting ready to ring the Nasdaq opening bell. Today is particularly exciting because we are officially welcoming Principal to the Nasdaq family of listed companies. Joining us now is Principal CEO Dan Houston. Dan, tell us a little bit about Principal's mission and how it differentiates and defines you.
Love to. Well, we've been around for nearly 140 years. That's a good place to start. We do business in roughly 75 countries around the world, and we're really trying to help people live their best life. And how do we do that? Making sure they have enough as they're reaching retirement age, making sure while they're working that they have the knowledge and the access to expertise, the technology and the tools that will allow them to achieve financial success in retirement.
Well, that's pretty amazing, actually. So what really differentiates Principal's kind of way of doing that from other financial services companies?
Well, I think it starts with the customer, right? We very much focus on small to medium-sized employers. We focus on individuals, and we do focus on very large institutions. And in large part, what we're trying to do is to make sure that it doesn't make any difference what investment that you actually invest in. It really has more to do with understanding why it is that you're investing. Are you on the right track? Do you have a plan? Helping people have a plan, having people stick to a plan, designing plan designs that will allow people to stay on track. And then, of course, they want to be updated throughout the course of their working career to know that they're on track. And if they're not, what are the solutions we can help them with? And we use a lot of technology to help them accomplish that.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that's really amazing about Principal is how you guys have really blended the technology with the financial service and all of the personal touch that you have. So I find that that certainly is a major differentiator for you.
Well, my guess it's a little bit like the Nasdaq. It's something that you value greatly. We make a significant investment in technology, and we're going to continue to make significant investments in technology, in large part around the customer experience, and then better using data, helping people use their own data to make better decisions that helps them stay on track for a successful financial career.
Well, that's wonderful because obviously, life is long. And
it is, in fact.
Making sure that you have the right financial plan around that is really important.
When you think about the current generation of workers in the marketplace today, there's a pretty good chance when you think about getting maybe a later start in their career, having periods of time where they may not be working, we're likely dealing with a group of professionals that may live in retirement for as many years as they worked. And so therefore they're going to have to make sure that they save properly in order to have the same lifestyle, enjoy that same lifestyle in retirement that they enjoyed while they were working.
Well, both of us have young children who are just kind of entering the workforce or have been new in the workforce. And what's really interesting is kind of getting them to acclimate themselves around the idea that a career is 30 to 40 years long.
Right.
And it is a winding path. It's not necessarily a straight road. So helping with those financial decisions along the way and teaching them to be financially independent is such an important part of getting ready to live a life. Right?
Couldn't agree more. And those individuals also need to understand you won't become the CEO in the next 3 to 4 years.
Right.
It may require
Exactly.
13 or 14, right?
Well, so I have a question. So what made you decide to come and join NASDAQ?
Well, there were a couple of things that really we found incredibly interesting. You use data wonderfully at the Nasdaq, and as we think about our investor relations capabilities, the tools that you're giving us, the information, the access to better understand who our investors are and how we can better educate them, that's certainly outstanding in terms of your investor relations. And then you look around Times Square here. How do you not look at this and not appreciate the branding and the marketing and the visibility strategy that you have at the Nasdaq? And then lastly, the marketing strategy. So we just felt that there was, frankly, more alike than differences in terms of our culture, our strategy, and how we can best go to market and serve the needs of our customers. And I think we're very much aligned in that regard.
Well, I would say we are just absolutely thrilled to have you as part of the NASDAQ family. But we also agree with you that there are some really wonderful ways for us to partner together, and we just can't wait to do that over many, many years to come.
We look forward to that.
So now let's talk about what's next for the company. How are you looking to expand the company next?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, 75 different countries, but a lot of those countries are very much emerging countries. And so I think about India and China and even parts of Latin America still are maybe 20 years behind where the U.S. is in terms of the energy that is used to better inform the middle class on what success might look like. And as you look around the world, there's a larger percentage of the population that is becoming middle class. We've been through this. We have the information, we have the expertise, we have the technology, we have the capabilities to help people in India, help people in China, Hong Kong, Brazil, Mexico, etc., help them lead their best life. So it's effectively exporting our knowledge and expertise of what we've done here, and of course leveraging technology will be a really significant part of that.
Yeah, I mean, the rising middle class globally is such a huge opportunity, but as you said, technology is key to making sure that you can connect with them, so that's fantastic.
And of course the other challenge, and it's not unique to just Southeast Asia, but it's demographics, the aging population, and it has two pieces, two components. One is we're living longer in retirement, which means we may have some burden as parents ourselves, not only taking care of our children, but helping our parents in retirement. And the second thing is I come from a family of 6, and yet we only have 3 children, and a lot of millennials now may only have 1 or 2. And so if you look at just the sheer capacity to help people and have resources to do that, it's going to be more challenging. And that means the burden is going to fall back on myself to provide for myself in retirement.
Yeah, that's really interesting, actually. So now, going back to the beginning of people's careers, so if you were to give advice to someone just starting out in their career to look at how they could potentially become, someone like you in the future, what is the #1 piece of advice you'd give them?
Well, the first thing I'd say is we only need one of me.
That's a good point.
But in all seriousness, I start with intellectual curiosity. I think you constantly have to be curious about things, broadly defined. And what you want to do is understand how systems work. And systems continue to evolve, and they're incredibly organic. And it reminds me of a Thomas Jefferson quote: on matters of style, go with the flow. On matters of principles, stand like a rock. There's some things that are core. Core is doing the right thing. It's making sure that you have the right moral compass and the right culture for your organization. Stylistically, you constantly have to evolve. Adopting the internet is a way of doing business, leveraging social media, all the things that you're very familiar with here at the Nasdaq.
Well, I just want to thank you so much. We're going to go downstairs and start to get ready for the opening bell.
Excellent.
So thank you so much, and thank you very much for watching us today.